Hello and welcome to Sports by Compion Pick'em Edition, baby. We're back with another episode, people. Your host, of course, is Stephen Compion, and I'm here with the man who knows about all things Patriots football, just football in general, which is why he continues to come on the pod and bless us with his knowledge. Mr. O'Connell's here in the house. How are you, sir?
What's up, Compian Nation? It's good to be back.
We're glad to have you back. Your hair looks beautiful. Love the pig picture in the back. We're fully set up here for another excellent episode. As you see there at the banner is popping around. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got great information here. One of our picks, guys, Corey, is absolutely on fire these days. Me, not so much, Cooper. Already off to a bad start. But to be fair, Denver dropped this game bad. Like, this was like a combination of the Chargers doing the Chargers stuff, like, good for them. But also, Denver just, what the fuck, dude? That second half, they could not get anything going on offense to save their lives, and they paid for it. Dude, Josh Palmer though in the back of the end zone. What a catch! Holy cow for that 2 point conversion.
Yeah, definitely. The Chargers receivers, my boy Lad McConkey's having a great year.
So
They
good.
really, they really cleaned house this offseason, and I mean they don't have the best receiving room right now, but I love Lad. Josh Palmer's having a decent year. I bet they'll be in like the Garrett Wilson sweepstakes this offseason, or maybe they'll try to throw some money at like Godwin or Amari Cooper or something.
Got one staying in Tampa. Don't be silly. Forever. Him and Mike Evans are just going to retire together. Well, Mike a little before him, but yeah, they're going to retire in Tampa. So don't get any silly ideas.
Also, got to shout out the first successful free kick field goal in 48
Dude,
years last night.
holy
I
cow.
was at the bar last night and explained that perfectly when it happened. It was one of the best moments of my life.
I'm proud of you because just based on the highlights, I had no idea what was going on. Shout out, That's Good Sports was of course heartbroken, which is why I love that man. Nothing like a heartbroken Denver Broncos fan to break it down and give us a nice. He had a whole separate video breaking it down, but he gave a nice summary. Cooper, since you broke it down perfectly the first time, why don't you give our Sports by Compy and fans a little re-education here in case they were confused as well?
All right, so if you're gonna ask me why this rule exists, I don't know why it exists. Doesn't really make sense that it exists in the first place, but this is
Sure.
just how it is. If you do a fair catch on a punt, you have the option to do a free kick from the spot of the fair catch. The Chargers also got a penalty, which added on some yards to
That
it.
was the key. That was the key
So,
is that they also got a penalty because the guy interfered with him catching the pass, right? Or the punt.
yeah, and of course, it's like if you're receiving a punt, the last thing you want to do is kick the ball right back away. So you only really do it before halftime. I think most coaches probably like kick the ball out of bounds before halftime instead of giving them a chance to do a free kick. But Denver put the ball in play, and we got to see the first successful free kick since 1976
Crazy.
for life. What a time to be
That's
alive.
good for Jim Harbaugh. He looks real smart doing that play. But yeah, I'm not going to call out the refs or anything because like whatever, it's not even my team. But I did see that That's Good Sports. So full disclosure, biased opinion. But dude, they didn't call a pass interference, was pretty bad at the very end there. Bo Nix throwing it up to Mims. But either way, moving on. Kansas City Chiefs are going to be taking on Houston at home. I believe this is in the Windy City. No, it's not the Windy City, but it's fucking windy over there in Kansas City. I'll tell you what, it's gonna be fucking cold. It's been snowing
Definitely a
away over
windy
here in the
city.
Midwest, dude. These Houston boys better be ready for some cold because it's gonna be freaking low temperatures. Anyway, Chiefs are hosted them. The odds are the people are giving Houston a shot here. I personally believe Patrick Mahomes will find a way, especially in the cold, to get this done. What CJ Stroud's been doing is not going to be enough. He's going to have to step up his game, and I don't know if he's got that going on. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs. I think Mahomes' injury last week, however serious you want to put it, it's definitely coming into play. Mahomes is supposed to be fully suited up on Saturday, so we're not seeing Carson Wentz, which I really wanted to see. That would have been a nice treat to end the football season with. But Houston's been soft to me all year. I don't like him in this game, even if Mahomes isn't 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know which good teams the Texans have beaten besides like Buffalo this year, honestly.
I mean, they just took down Miami, but that was even like Miami really had so many opportunities to win that.
Yeah, I'm not super high in Miami either, but I know Houston, they
True.
got destroyed by the Vikings. They lost to Green Bay. They lost to the Lions. They lost to, I don't know if they played the Ravens this year. I'm not going to say they lost to them, but I feel like they did.
I feel like they
Um,
did play the Ravens. Are you surprised to see the Ravens at 9-5? I was like, wait, what?
they're really talented, but I feel like they're like a little undisciplined. They make a lot of
Maybe.
self-inflicted errors that kind of hold them back.
Which is
Um,
weird for a John Harbaugh team, but we'll get to them in a minute.
yeah,
As far as this Chiefs game, you're also on the Chiefs bandwagon.
yeah, I like the Chiefs.
Yeah, they'll figure this out. It's so hard to beat these guys, and CJ Stroud's gonna have to play out of his mind if it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be in the cold in Kansas City. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on. Baltimore is hosting the Steelers. This is just a good old fashioned brawl in the NFC North. I do believe Baltimore won the first one, which makes me real reluctant to take them here to win this one. But I mean, they're at home. They are 9-5, so they kind of need this win, even just to stay in the playoff hunt, which is crazy. But yeah, especially if the Steelers win this, they might be in control to take the NFC North. So yeah, Lamar has to turn it on. Seems like a game he would do that if he's gonna, be an MVP candidate.
Yeah, so TJ Watt got a little banged up against the Eagles. What's his deal? Is he playing?
Good questions I don't have the answer to. Let's see if we can find this out on the separate. But you keep talking while I go ahead and have a look at that.
Well, the Steelers are like 1-9 all the time, I think, without Watt. So that's basically what decides my answer here. If Watt's not playing, then I'm taking Baltimore.
Well, he wants to play. All right.
The other consideration is that like if these two play a low scoring game, how many points is Justin Tucker going to leave on the board? The boy's been struggling lately.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those he's questionable. So
Okay.
that will definitely be a big key, whether he's playing or not. And they did just come off of a shellacking by the Eagles. The question is now, Mike Tomlin teams don't like to lose back-to-back team games. So can you see him rallying the boys? Do they skid 2 games in a row here? It's kind of tough. This is a really hard one to pick, honestly.
Not without Watt.
Not without Watt. Yeah, not without Watt. So
TJ
for now,
plays. I'd probably still take Baltimore here, honestly.
Baltimore needs this more than the Steelers do because they're gonna end up out of the playoff hunt if they lose this one too. Well, not out of it, but it's gonna get dicey, which is crazy because they were dominating teams.
Maybe they'll mentally get a surge after cutting Deontay Johnson. They got that toxin out of the locker room.
Did they cut him?
Yeah, they just released him today.
Isn't it weird that like I've never heard of guys not going into the game, and then we had 2 in 1 year. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Like,
we have multiple. I mean, we had AR who benched himself, for the Colts, and then
well,
Devondre
that was a
Campbell.
little different. I could see why people were so mad about that one, but that one was a little
Yeah,
different. And I was like, dude, I just need a breather. Like, I get that, but like that was so dumb. I think that was more just dumb and not quite thinking about it than
well, we've
anything.
all wanted to do it, but you don't do it. You don't
Yeah.
actually go through with it. I can relate to wanting to do
Hey,
that,
I
but
do it,
you
and like
gotta.
when I know there's rolling subs in rugby, I will for sure pat myself off for a hot minute, go catch my breath, and come back in better. But you're the quarterback, and it's the NFL, and it's not rolling subs. Well, it is rolling subs, but not the point. You're the quarterback.
Yeah, well, part of being a good athlete is knowing like how to do everything you do with minimal effort.
That too. Yeah, that too.
How
Which
to
he has
cons-
definitely not figured out. Poor AR. But anyway, we're taking Baltimore for this, right? Because they're desperate. They need this. I don't know if
I
they're
like the
desperate, but
Ravens.
they need this. All right. So Cincinnati is just so hard to read. This does seem like a game they would drop, but I do think they're going to pull it out. Burrow's playing amazing. Cleveland should have just stuck with Jameis. It's so sad to see Jameis get benched again. I don't know, man. It's so sad. He's so fun. Why can't he just be like a little bit better? So they have to leave him in there.
Yeah, I don't like the Browns at all. DTR starting. Not to mention Denver losing that game last night. All of a sudden makes this a much more interesting game for the Bengals because the Bengals win this, then next week they play Denver, and if they beat Denver, then they just need Kansas City to beat Denver and them to win, and they're taking over Denver in the standings.
It's crazy.
Some other things have to happen with like Miami and the Colts too. It's still super up in the air, but if the Bengals win this game, then the Bengals Broncos game next week becomes massive.
So Denver fans praying for a miracle out of Cleveland, and They got who's playing over there now for them at quarterback? Is it a
In Cleveland,
Roger Scamardi?
Dominique Thompson Robinson.
Sounds like a name of confidence. Good luck, kid. But I'm going Cincinnati in this game.
Yep.
Joe Burrow is locked in right now. It's scary. Falcons are taking on the Giants. Michael Penix Jr. gets his first start in the NFL. Cooper, dude, it's
Yeah,
tough to see
Penix
Kirk
is.
Cousins go down. Like it was just tough. Like man, I like him as a quarterback. Like and obviously I was happy to see the Falcons stumble because now the Buccaneers are in control of the NFC South. But it was sad nonetheless, dude. Like holy shit, I don't think we've seen such a stumble from a pretty caliber quarterback like this in a while. I guess he's done so as a starter.
I feel like Tom Brady playing until he was 45 just completely disillusioned the brains of like all these front office people. Now they think
Yeah,
every aging quarterback is going to be able to play into his 40s. I mean, they're paying them like they are, you know.
yeah. Some people were saying he just never came back from the injury the same way, which is fair.
I mean, he had a few flashes this year,
Yeah,
but
against the
he looks
Buccaneers for
significantly
sure.
worse the last couple of weeks than he has in years.
Yeah, that's for sure. Huge regression. He might get a shot somewhere else and rekindle again. Who knows what Atlanta's going to do with him because they still owe him so much money.
Yeah, he'll be a bridge guy somewhere next year. I could see maybe Cleveland just taking a swing on him, but
Sure.
they have so much money tied up in Watson that I feel like they're probably better off drafting someone.
Oh, definitely. No, they need to go quarterback next year. But yeah, the Giants are equally as they're probably more of a mess than the Browns are, which is really saying something. They absolutely have to go quarterback. Dave will probably not be there, so it's going to be a new coach. It's a mess in New York, Cooper, and I don't think they're going to win this game in Atlanta.
Yeah, I would have thought the Belichick wanted that job, but I guess not. I wouldn't count the Giants out of this game as a sneaky trap game. You know, they're
It's
going
fair.
back to Drew Lock, who isn't very good, but he's at least capable of winning games in a way that I don't think Tommy DeVito is. Penix's first start, I mean, you know, one or two errors from him, mental mistakes could swing the entire game in the Giants' favor. So if the Giants hang around, you know, I think anything can happen. I would
That's
take
fair.
Atlanta, but I wouldn't put a lot on them, you know.
I agree, and I would love to see the Falcons stumble yet again. That would pretty much secure the NFC South for us. But anyway, moving on. Detroit Lions moving over and taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicagoland. They've been injured, dude. They're banged up.
Yeah,
Montgomery
it's sad
appears
to
to,
see.
appears to be out for the year. Um, it's they just lost Carlton Davis for the year, which I'm sad to hear. Yeah, they're banged up, dude. Can they still survive in Chicago?
I don't know what went wrong with that team. I don't know if they have the worst athletic training staff ever, if their facilities are bad, like if the players are wearing like a certain type of cleats that are bad, or if God really just doesn't want them to win the Super Bowl.
That
But
doesn't seem fair, doesn't it? It's like
it's
it's not fair.
now the fucking Eagles are gonna probably have a cakewalk to the Super Bowl.
Jesus. Yeah,
No,
yeah. Well,
I like Minnesota actually. I think their defense is so good, but obviously you don't really know what you're gonna get from Darnold yet in the postseason.
no, no, we definitely don't know what we're gonna get from Darnold, and that is a whole different animal. Meanwhile, Caleb Williams, is he injured? I heard he got rocked in that last game, or is he good?
Um, as far as I know, he's supposed to play. Um,
What a trooper.
but I mean, talk about a mess over there in Chicago.
Yeah.
Caleb can't distribute the ball on the easy plays, and they can't dial up enough plays that actually make sense for consistent offense from them. That being said, I mean, in division game, I could see this being a randomly really close one, especially with Detroit's, you know, non-existent paper mache defense.
Yeah. Well, I am gonna definitely go Detroit here. I think they're gonna figure out a way, despite how banged up they are, to get this done. Goff is still healthy. They got hope. So yeah, Detroit in this one. Moving on, we got the Colts hosting the Tennessee Titans. Disappointing season for the Colts so far. They just DTR is not at all taking that next step that they're hoping he would. Speaking of players also not taking that second step, is there Will Levis. Same draft class, same problem. He still thinks he could be a franchise quarterback, though. What do you think, Cooper?
I think both of these teams are going to be in the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes next year.
Is he really the only like free agent quarterback, or not even free agent but potential? There's got to be
Someone's going to give
somebody.
Sam Darnold a bag. Sam Darnold's going to be playing
Sam
elsewhere next
Darnold's going to get
year.
a bag, yeah, for sure, because they got
And
a
then
rookie.
aside from that, like the Raiders and the Giants are 1 and 2 right now for the draft, and they're probably going to go Cam Ward and Sanders. So I don't really know what happens with QBs after that, depending on when Quinn Ewers ends up going or Carson Beck. That's complete mystery to me at this point.
Beck has definitely left some questions with those
Yeah.
last couple games. But anyway, as far as the current situation here, I do think the Colts figure it out. Tennessee is just such a hot mess. Will Levis is a hot mess. I mean, it's a division game. Wouldn't surprise me if somehow the Titans have surprised us a couple years, 3 times this year. So I could
You
see
got
them
Mason
somehow making
Rudolph
this.
playing too.
Is Mason Rudolph starting now?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit more of a veteran presence. He gets time to actually prepare as a starter. But I'm still going DTR here. One of his 5 completions for the day will be, 2 of his 5 completions will be for touchdowns. So it'll be enough to get the job done. Jonathan
It's
Taylor
crazy
probably
that
Jonathan Taylor probably
DTR is going to
won't
play that
throw.
game from Cleveland, huh?
He's just playing everywhere right now, Cooper.
Yeah. They still drive over at halftime.
Dude. Well, man, you just gotta be all over the place, is what I think. You gotta make up for that time when you took yourself out. Now you gotta play everywhere. I think there was like a Rogers Camardi or something over there in Cleveland, which I was referencing, who came in briefly before Jameis started. And they're like, never mind, you're terrible. Let's get Jameis in there. But anyway, yeah, so I think the Colts figured this out somehow at home. Moving on. We got the Jets hosting the Rams. The Rams are red hot. And that's why I'm taking them, even though the Jets have figured out, that last game against Jacksonville. That was cool, even though they had to fight tooth and nail for it. That Jets defense just doesn't appear to be the same unit they were last year.
No, I mean firing Robert Saleh midseason was really stupid.
Why? Why?
It was such a premature move, and all they really did was make the defense worse while Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers was getting back up to speed. Rodgers is playing a lot better now than he was at the beginning of the season.
for sure.
Not that I'm
Especially
going to be
Devontae.
sold on the Jets after beating Jacksonville, but still.
Still, he's definitely looked better. Devontae Adams is starting to find his way in that offense. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be enough though. The Rams are red hot. Like Stafford has all his weapons back, so he's real excited throwing the ball to all of them. It's real good times. They're all like reunited, and it feels really good.
The Jets are just going to be a mess until Woody Johnson dies, basically.
Might be the same situation with the Cowboys, dude. Jerry Jones has got to go.
The bad choices and the mismanagement all starts from the top. Some teams just
Yep.
have terrible management, and no matter what the Jets do, it'll always be the wrong choice if Woody Johnson's in charge. That's what I've learned from watching them all my life.
You're not wrong. It's crazy how they managed to be this bad for so long, and it's these owners in these big cities, so they can afford to be arrogant because there's just so much money flowing in from their team. They're like, fuck it, I know what I'm doing. Sad, Cooper.
Yeah.
Moving on. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. Isn't this just lovely, Coop? They're going to play against the Commanders. Now this is gonna be somewhat of a tight, close game. Who knows? The Eagles are freaking coming in red hot into this game. Commanders have stumbled a little bit. They found a win. Can they withstand the storm? I personally don't think so. I think Barkley's too good. I think Hurts is starting to figure his life out. It's too hard to cover AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. So I think the Eagles are going to take this, man. Plus,
Yeah, I don't see Washington being able to stop the run. Um, the only I feel like the only real way to beat Philly is to, stop the run and put the game in Jalen Hurts' hands and make him, make decisions because eventually
right.
he'll make a mistake. But there's no pressure on the offense at all if the offensive line's cooking and Saquon Barkley's getting 6-7 yards of carry, which that's kind of what I expect going into this game. So grudgingly, I gotta say Philly's probably gonna destroy them.
I don't know about destroy, but I think they are going to take this game. Jaden Daniels, can't count him out. The kid's a baller. But Can that Commanders defense withstand this crazy full-fledged Eagles? I don't think so.
That Fangio defense made him look like a rookie last time. See how he adjusts.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, moving on. We got the Cardinals going over to Carolina. Now the Panthers were favored last week, which was huge for them. There is very exciting times. Um, they got smacked by the Cowboys instead, though. So back to reality. Now they got the Cardinals coming into town. Yeah, it's tough times, but it's the battle of the short quarterbacks. And Kyler Murray has more experience. He's definitely better at this point. So yeah, I'm going on Kyler Murray and the boys. They need this win too if they're going to stay alive in that NFC West battle.
First off, 5'10" isn't short. I'm 5'10".
How
I'm
dare
not
you?
short.
I'm sorry.
I'm just short compared to Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
A
sorry.
little different, obviously.
Sorry, Short Kings. That was fucked
I
up.
also can't see over an offensive line if I was back in the pocket.
Yeah, honestly, that's just NFL offensive lines make them look short. So my bad, boys. I don't have
I'll
room to
be
talk.
the devil's advocate and take Carolina here.
Love it. Is that what you took on your pickup sheet though?
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Okay. Well, tell us what you like about the Panthers at home.
They played a good game against Philly 2 weeks ago, and I think like playing good defense against Jalen Hurts with that O line, it's like you're basically playing against the worst version of that with the Cardinals. And the Cliff Kingsbury offenses, or sorry, not Cliff Kingsbury. Who's their OC?
Over at Carolina.
No, on the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I don't know who is their offensive coordinator right now. It's not. Is it Shane Steichen? Is that their head coach? No,
Not the Colts.
that's the Colts. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but he brought in his own dude, I believe. I have no idea who it is. We could look it up though. But yeah, so you like the idea of this Carolina defense kind of playing better against this incoming offense?
Yeah, I think Bryce Young's gonna have a get right game. He's been playing better football lately, and he didn't. The Panthers overall kind of got smacked last week against Dallas, but we'll see. I think the Cardinals are kind of a team that isn't built, to last throughout December and January. I kind of see them
They
sputtering.
struggle every year towards the end. They start to struggle. Drew Petzine. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Drew. But anyway, yeah, that's the guy over there with the Cardinals offensive coordinator. So yeah, that's not a bad argument at all. I'm not switching my pick here, but I respect you putting up a solid argument for the underdogs. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Wouldn't mind seeing the Panthers win that. Cause why not? Be funny. And as we mentioned, a team that we like earlier, the Minnesota Vikings, they're still regular season, and they are taking on a team that needs a win. The Seahawks they lost last week to the Packers, so now they're in much more desperation. Obviously, the Rams are surging. I think the 49ers are still in it, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they
Yeah,
need
they're
this
they're
win.
barely still in it, but their team's kind of slipping right now.
So yeah, they're in it. The whole NFC West is in it. So they need this win to stay ahead of the competition, but it's looking tough.
I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to dominate them up front. It's going to be rainy, so Geno Smith's passing game is going to be a little bit subdued. And I think Minnesota's the better team just up front.
Yeah, I think Seahawks are a couple more pieces away, which is crazy because they do have a lot of ballers, but these guys just can't seem to quite get over the hump sometimes. But who knows? We might see another surprising win from Geno Smith. It's happened before. We've been wrong before, but in this case, I agree with you. Vikings should take this game. Buffalo Bills are hosting your New England Patriots, Coop. Um, Unfortunately, they're facing the MVP frontrunner in Josh Allen, and he's playing like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Drake May throw like one or two garbage time touchdown passes. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be an enjoyable experience for me. I will be watching regardless, but might
Attaboy.
not be enjoying it too much.
What a trooper. What a true fan. We respect that. We love that here at Sportsback Compion. Yeah, sorry to hear about this impending doom, but I am going Buffalo Bills here. Moving on. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to take on another bottom dweller in the Las Vegas Raiders. I definitely think the Jaguars got this. Your boy Mac Jones out there kind of putting up a fight against Aaron Rodgers last week. If he could do that, the Raiders apparently have no offense. I don't know what's happened. Is this going to be Pierce going to get fired? I'm really sad to see it because I love that guy. I think their team loves him, but man, it has gone. The shit is just it's gone to shit.
Yeah, this is two sputtering teams with head coaches with very hot seats playing backup quarterbacks. And if you don't love this game, you don't love football.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! That's why they put it into the afternoon slot. Like you guys need this.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be great to see Brian Thomas in the red zone window. I'll be sweating that one out. I have him in fantasy.
Dude, the man's a baller. Jacksonville's got a couple.
I'll take the Raiders in this game. For thinking
Love it.
about two teams playing for their coaches, I think they're probably a little more bought into Antonio Pierce than Peterson at this point, if I had to guess.
That's a good point.
And I'm not fooled by Mac Jones's good game he had last game. I've seen enough of him in my lifetime to know that he's got a stinker right around the corner. I'm not going to draw any conclusions off of that. The other thing, though, is the Raiders lost Max Crosby for the year, which definitely hurts them.
Oh, did they? Yeah, they did. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, they're such a mess. Poor guys. Oh man, good old that is just quality football as you mentioned earlier. So yeah, moving on. The 49ers, as you mentioned, somehow still alive in this NFC West chase. But they must take on another semi-dead team in the Miami Dolphins. Two 6-8 teams going at it, Cooper. Hoping for playoff hopes. Will both need help even if they win. I think the 49ers got this, dude. Like the Dolphins, I don't know if they got it like definitively. It's going to be a close game. But the Dolphins last week, watching them against Houston, I was just like, there was just so many opportunities for them to win that, and they could just not pull their heads out of their ass. I don't know what happened to Tyreek Hill this year. He just has been way too occupied with his many children, I guess, because the dude is not having a good season.
I think the Dolphins are going to win this one. I think they're in a much better place mentally probably than the 49ers right now. I think
Well,
we'll
the
see a lot of
49ers
mental
lose
mistakes
recently.
from.
Although they had that whole weird thing. Maybe they're going to come out firing after that whole thing with Devontae Campbell, though.
They've had a rough season overall. They've
Yeah, they
taken a
have.
beating from on and off the field this season, and I think maybe the idea that it's over might be kind of spreading around the locker room at this point. And a team like Miami, I mean, that's not a team you want to be mentally not dialed in against.
And they are going to Miami.
They'll slice you up. So I like Miami in this one.
Screw it.
I
I'm
think
switching my
Tua still
pick.
feels like he has a lot to prove. McDaniel, now he's on the hot seat. So he has a lot to prove. I think Miami's going to be dialed in this game. I like them.
All right, I'm switching my pick, Cooper. You've convinced me. What you won't convince me of though is if you're going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they travel to Dallas. Dallas is showing some fight, no doubt about it. However, the Buccaneers need this. We need this to keep our winning streaks going and just control our own destiny. If Baker can just do what he does, we'll be fine. He does crazy games sometimes, Cooper, where it gets really bad and really scary and then none of it makes sense. And he throws it to the other team and really inopportune times and for no reason. But when he just bakes, when he's just in his bakery, just baking away and just baking and handing the ball off to Bucky Irving and to Rashad White and quick passes and not overthinking. When he pulls the ball down and almost gets sacked and tries to run and all this other crazy shit, that's where bad stuff happens. As long as we get decisive, smart Baker, the Cowboys don't have a chance, especially with Diggs out. And Mike Evans needs another 270 yards. So the boys are going to be locked in for that too.
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay. I think they're one of the more underrated teams in the NFC. I think Detroit, Philly, and Minnesota's kind of pulled away as like the top three this year. Green Bay kind of too. Bucks are on pace to get a home playoff game. I could see them going into like Philly or Detroit round 2 and winning. Honestly,
Love it. Love that confidence. We do have maybe one of the best offenses. Like our offense, when it does function and does its thing, we're fucking good. Which is crazy because we've lost Godwin, who was like the main engine of our offense, but we've found ways to replace him, and we're still trucking forward, putting up 40 burgers. We out here, baby. And I think we got.
McMillan really stepped up.
Yeah, he's finally coming into his own a little bit. So hopefully he can keep that up. Hopefully the boys keep the train rolling, and we'll take care of business in Dallas and Jerry World. Moving on. The Packers, as we mentioned, one of the best teams in the NFC, taking on a struggling New Orleans team. Spencer Rattler came in with some fire, though. He came in, got the boys excited there, put them at literally like a drop pass away, or, it was close. They almost won that thing. Do they have what it takes to take on these Packers? The Packers manhandled the Seahawks last week, so it doesn't inspire confidence against underdogs. I think I got to go Packers here.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough from Spencer Rattler. It's going to be him, right, instead of Jake Haener.
Yeah. He finished that game, and I think he finished pretty well, so they'll probably roll with him.
Not in a game like this. I can't entertain that until I see him play well in a game like this.
That's fair.
He had,
And I
he had
don't
an
think
okay
Carr is
fourth
going to be back
quarter
in
and a
time.
miracle comeback last week, but it's not enough for me. I'm
Is
not
Carr
sold.
out for the year, or is he potentially back for this one? Not that it
Uh,
matters. I would still go Packers.
I think he's done. I think there's like a chance he could play in week 18, but by that point they're probably just not going to put him back in.
Yeah, makes sense. Love to see the
They are
Saints
they are
struggling.
still mathematically in it though, so they are playing for something right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if the Bucks completely stumble, if the Falcons completely stumble, they'd be still in it. So that is true. Hopefully the Packers can put them out of their misery, and we can all move on with our day. Because frankly, fuck the Saints.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Anyway, Cooper, thank you so much for coming on and spreading your football knowledge to the fine folks of Sports by Compion. I did want to see if you had any final words or message you would like to send to the people before we move on with our evening.
To the people of Compia Nation, thank you for spending your Christmas week with me. Enjoy your holiday time, whatever holiday you celebrate, whether it's Christmas or one of the other ones. Hanukkah, I believe people celebrate Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Happy
Whatever
holidays, people.
whatever floats your boat. I hope your fantasy championships go well to all you people out there. And I hope the Patriots have a good offseason if I don't talk to you until then.
God
So
bless. They have so much money, dude. They could have a really great offseason.
they always have so much money. They don't do
They have
shit with
so
it.
much
Leave it
money.
alone.
They should spend some of it. But yes, Sports by Copy fans, thank you so much for supporting the channel over the year. I know we have a couple of loyal listeners who tune in every week, and we appreciate the heck out of you people. Continue to like and subscribe, support us. Thank you so much. Sports by Compion out.